Today, we're going to be talking about the 10 fiction niches that are profitable, yet not too competitive in 2020. And I know I've kind of shared some stuff in fiction before, but I'm going to give you some new niches today. Some of them are going to get you going, maybe I should try this. Or, ooh, I'm already doing this. Maybe I should be utilizing that. So we're going to talk about that in today's episode. So make sure that you stay tuned. Hey, I'm Dale, and I'm a best-selling author as well as a self-publishing advocate that wants to show you how to publish books that sell. And you want that too. I hope you want that too. Make sure that you hit that little subscribe button and turn the bell notifications on and click that all so that way you don't miss a single one of these videos. And boy, am I excited. I hit the subscribe button twice because I think you should do it at least once. And today we're going to be talking about profitable fiction niches, 10 of them to be exact. But I do need to bring to your attention the exclusive sponsors here of the channel, and that is KDP. KDP Author is an ebook authoring software to help you export your books in different formats, including but not limited to branded apps. That's right, you can turn your book into a freaking app. It also allows you to add interactive content inside your ebook, such as self-assessment questions, widgets, videos, and more. They do have a free version for you. That's pretty friggin' cool if you don't mind me saying so. KDP also helps with other areas in self-publishing, such as hosting your ebook for you and controlling user access. KDP also provides custom services in case you need any ebook services done for you, such as illustrations, animations, special interactivity, and so much more. For more details, visit my affiliate link over at dalelinks.com/KDP. That's spelled KOTOBEE. All right, let's get right into it. We're going to talk about those 10 profitable niches. Now, to kind of get things going first, you need to understand a few things. When I'm doing my research, I want to see that they kind of meet a criteria. And the reason why I want to do that is get it to where you're not going into a super competitive niche, where it's just absolutely impossible to even break into the top of the bestsellers list. And you don't want to go into something with no competition because that indicates there's no audience. So what I'm trying to do when I look up a niche, the old school method is I open up incognito mode, I'll go ahead and type in a specific type of keyword, and I'll browse for, specific books within that niche. I'll see that book, I'll look at the product details, and I'll take a look at the actual browse path or the category it's put underneath. We call them niches or niches. It doesn't matter, whatever you want to call them. Either way, I'm looking at the Amazon bestsellers rank. And for brevity's sake, I'll call it the ABSR. So if you hear me say ABSR, that means Amazon bestseller rank. So I'm looking at the ABSR. I want to see a nice range of about 10,000 ABSR to no higher than 100,000 ABSR. So the lower the rank goes, obviously the more sales it's going to get. And the higher the rank goes, the less sales it's getting. So I want to make sure that there's just enough proof of concept to kind of break into a niche. Now, you could do this the old school method, or you can just go ahead and use Publisher Rocket. I actually use Rocket. I used it today, literally 10 minutes before I went on today to show you just how simple this is. 10 minutes before I went on, I found 10 niches that fast through Publisher Rocket. So if you ever have questions, go over to dalelinks.com/rocket to get your hands on it. They have a 30-day money-back guarantee. The team over at Rocket are just fantastic. But if you're like, hey, Dale, can't afford it, that's totally cool. That's why you came here, right? You came here to kind of learn some of these things. So now that we got that all out of the way, it's easy for me to say, let's go ahead into the screen share mode because I'm going to go ahead and open up the browsing window here. And we're going to start it out with category number 1, teen and young adult romantic comics and graphic novels. It's so funny. We've actually talked about this given niche before. And here it is. It's back on here again. And believe it or not, it kind of ties closely into the number 2 selection as well. If we take a look here, and I'm going to go ahead and zoom in just a little bit. So we look at the browse path as the very first thing. Browse path means what are the categories and subcategories and subcategories? Because when we ask for this in our KDP dashboard, we're going to want to know this because we don't just want to give them this. we want to give them the browse path on the left-hand side here. So for instance, we would send in, if we had a teen and young adult romantic comics and graphic novels book that we want to put in here, we will send in Kindle ebooks, teen and young adult, comics and graphic novels, and romance. So let's go ahead. We're going to hit reset on this one so I can see this at a further view. You will notice that the rank is 10,000 at number 1 and still 59,000. So there's still room to grow in this niche. We'll see actually as we scroll down, even the top 20 is still below 100,000. This niche, if you're an artist and you're somebody who could, really put some stuff into this niche, I highly recommend you definitely consider this niche because it's worthwhile. This means there's proof of concept. There's a hungry and voracious audience that wants to buy your content. All right, so let's go ahead into number 2. Number 2 is actually romance manga. Now this one kind of ties in real closely to what I was doing in the last one, because you actually even notice some of these anime inspired covers and such. That one's a little graphic on the very top here. But you'll notice number 1 is at 18,000 and number 10, let's scroll up just a little bit more, is at 40,000. By the way, just really quick, now this is not like a plug or anything else like that. What I will say is that if you want to kind of get these ranks so it's easier for you, there's something that's called DS Amazon Quick View. It's 100% free. It's a browser plugin. I've never actually upgraded. They have an upgrade, but I've never done it. I've just literally used it. I highly recommend you at least install that, regardless of where you're at. It makes life easy so you can see the ABSRs at a quick glance. So that was just a PSA service announcement. I wanted to make sure that you weren't, trying to grind it out, go to each one of the pages, see the ABSR, write it down. Oh, well, let's go to number 20 and see what that is. Get the DS Amazon Quick View. It will make life so much easier. All right, so let's back over here to this. So you can see it's 40,000 at number 10. And if we scroll a little further down, you see there's still, I'm telling you, if you're big into anime, if you're the type of person who can do this type of stuff, the last 2 niches is going to be absolutely perfect for you. So dig deep on some of these things and you might find you're going to really just unearth some awesome niches that can really pay off. Okay, moving forward. Here's the number 3 category. By the way, this is of no order of importance today. They're random. I'm just bringing them on out here, bringing them to light. So the best sellers in children's Easter books. Now, this is not saying, okay, if you're a Christian out there and you're losing your mind and I'm calling your holiday a fictional holiday. No, it's not that. A vast majority of the people that are going to be ordering Easter books are probably looking for children's books. So you can see right away, my book of bunnies with Barbie on it is number 1 at 14,000. And you go over to number 10, it's at 84,000 with Peppa Pig. Some of you parents out there might know who Peppa is. Only reason why I know is because of my nephews. I think I've seen that they had the book before or they were watching something of that nature. But either way, you will notice that this is a good niche. It starts to get a violent drop though after number 11. So if you get in here and you really set it up, I have a feeling this is going to be very time sensitive. So the reason why this niche is probably shooting up, it's that time of year. We're in February. There's going to be some parents and children that are wanting some Easter books. So naturally, they're going to be ordering it right now. So timing is perfect on this one. So if you're like, oh, I'm going to do an Easter book, you may want to do it right now and don't miss out on it. All right, here we go. Number 4, children's fictional biographies. Now, this one's interesting. I didn't realize there was fictional biographies, but there is nonetheless. So this one actually got a browse path. We just kind of scroll in, children's ebooks under Kindle ebooks, biographies and fictional. You'll see there's additional browse paths that go down into European and United States. But to make things simple, I'm just going to kind of keep it at this more broad browse path. So this means that probably if we were to click either one of these, I would bet you that it's going to be super simple to break into those given browse paths. Because the further up that you go, the more competitive it gets. The further down you go in a browse path, the easier it gets to break into. So with this one, we started out with number 1, it's 29,000, and at number 10, it's right at that borderline at 105,000. So to me, I think it's worth a shot. I think it's worth a gamble, and especially if you already have something like this. So number 5, let's move forward. All right, I've talked about this so many times, and I'm just going to go ahead and say it again. Short reads are something else. Now, short reads are typically like just shorter than normal content, and you either get categorized into that automatically based on the keywords and the amount of content within your interior, or you can put a request in for it. Now, time to time, you're going to get an Amazon representative when you request a browse path for a short read that will say, this is invite only. Now, yes and no. It sometimes depends on the Amazon representative you're going to get. Some of the Amazon representatives will see that you definitely belong in that category and they'll put you on into there. If you don't belong in there, don't put in the order. Now, the very first thing you're going to want to do is make sure you go into your book's metadata, and underneath promote and advertise for ebooks, you're going to go ahead and select that, and you'll go in there and you're going to scroll to the bottom, and there's something that's called KENPC. That's Kindle Edition Normalized Page Count. That's where you're going to want to pay attention to that number. Don't worry about what it is on your manuscript through Microsoft Word or whatever it is that you're using for formatting, like KDP. Wow, that was a good little segue there. Good job, Dale. Any rate, that number for KENPC is where you're going to want to be aware of where your browse path is going to be for Kindle short reads. Because if you try to willy-nilly ask for a short read and you don't have the KENPC already set, then you're not going to get the short read category. It's just that simple. Alrighty. And remember, Amazon has the right to tell you no. And they're not going to ban you or anything else like that for asking for things like that. They're just going to tell you no. All right, so here we go. Go back into screen share. We're coming back to the 2-hour humor and entertainment short reads. And I was pretty surprised to see that this is ripe for the picking. You actually look at something here at the very top, it's a 16,000. You scroll down and it's a 54,000 for number 10. We scroll further down and you will see that, man, number 20, 84,000. So this is really cool. This is something I'm telling you that if you're a person that has great jokes or some good humor, this might be the area that you're going to look at. So we'll look over here. Now, you remember how I showed you on the browse path, so showed Kindle ebooks? This one actually is different. It goes Kindle Store, Kindle Short Reads, 2 hours or more. So that's about 65 to 100 pages for this one. And you go further down to humor and entertainment. Now, just a heads up, with short reads, it does not go down below that. All it's going to do is each one of these individual paths, that's it. There's usually other subcategories beyond that when you're in Kindle ebooks, but when you go over into something like this, it is, that's it. So humor and entertainment doesn't go down to another niche. Computers and technology doesn't go down to another niche. It just stays right there. So based on whatever it is, the short read that you're doing is how it's going to work. All right, we're halfway through the list. We're going to come up here to number 6. Let's go ahead and hit reset here. And this is teen and young adult Christian historical fiction. I got to let you know that as I was kind of going through some of this research, I discovered like a big pattern. There is a wealth of opportunity in kids' books, children's books, and teen and young adult. I'm telling you, like this area right now is absolutely ripe for the picking. So if you're thinking about breaking into this niche, get off the fence, get over into that niche and start publishing it yesterday. You need to get on top of it right away. But what I noticed here in the browse path is it goes books. Ooh, hang on a second. We just shifted over to print. All right, so this is a print version here. Teens, literature, religious, and it goes down to historical. So there's a good reason why I wanted to highlight the fact that it's books, because books and ebooks are in two entirely different types of browse paths. So when you use your browse paths and you request those, make sure you're requesting you have upwards of 10 browse paths or niches per book. And that's 10 for ebooks, 10 for print books. So those of you out there that are looking at this and go, oh my gosh, I've got teen and young adult Christian historical fiction that can definitely go in there. This is for print books, not for ebooks. I just wanted to stipulate that so everybody's not getting all excited, because chances are likely you go over to ebooks, this browse path might be super competitive. Just letting you know. Alrighty. So we see at number 1 is at 14,000. We scroll down, it's at 53,000 here. We scroll further down, we see it really starts to get more of a drop off closer to number 20. But I mean, this is not bad. This is not bad at all. You're getting towards like 90,000. So honestly, I really think this is a great opportunity here. Next one. All right, we're moving right along to Middle Eastern literature. This one actually has a browse path of Kindle ebooks, literature and fiction, and Middle Eastern. And actually this one we go over here, it's at 14,000 and we go down into 43,000. Now, I noticed in this particular one, it had a mixture of fiction and some nonfiction. So this is, don't get thrown off. Every now and then you will see some browse paths that kind of marry the two. There's some that has fiction applicable and some that has nonfiction. Don't be discouraged if you see something like that, but you may want to pay attention to what is dominating those specific bestsellers lists. Alrighty, on to I think we're 8. Number 8 here is we're back over to short reads. And I'm going to tell you, this is not the last time we're going to hear from short reads on this one here. This is a 30-minute mystery, thriller, and suspense short reads. This is something else because most mystery, thriller, and suspense books altogether are absolutely, it's a fist fight. This is a niche that is really tough to break into. But once you do, you will get a devoted following that will come back and consume your content on the regular. So we look over at Kindle Short Reads. It's a 30-minute short read, 12 to 21 pages, and is mystery, thriller, and suspense, oddly enough. And again, there's no additional browse paths below that because we go into the short read. It gives a general category. That's where it goes. We look at number 1, has 14,000, and we look at number 10, it has 99,000, and we see just a steep drop off as it goes into 100,000 as we scroll further down into this. All right, number 9. We're cooking right along. 30-minute teen and young adult short reads. If I'm just going to go ahead and say, I told you so. I said we were going to have this. Naturally, here we are. It's showing us that the teen and young adult category is ripe for the picking. You may want to consider this. You will see just kind of a mixture again of fiction and nonfiction, but you'll notice fiction's at the very top here. If we look at the browse path, it's Kindle Short Reads. 30 minutes, 12 to 21 pages, teen and young adult. We scroll further down. Number 10's at 89,000. And we see a little bit of a drop off, but it doesn't get too serious until about, I'd say number 16 here at 103,000. Now, I would be okay with breaking in this one. As long as I see that top 10's doing okay, I'm like, whew, there's proof of concept. Alrighty, we've got one more of these coming right up. And I want, of course, bring to your attention that I'm here every Saturday at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That's at dalelinks.com/live. You want to make sure that you join me for that. And I lost my train of thought. Apologize. And also I'll be doing a live broadcasts of my podcast on twitch.tv/self-publish. You join me every Monday at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And it'll be awesome. If you don't make it, that's okay. Remember, you can catch everything on the replay inside the video section. It's up there for about 2 weeks before Twitch purges that content. Alrighty, if you're ready for number 10, we're gonna go ahead and transition right back over to this. And number 10, this last one's very interesting. Remember, I was just talking with a live viewer here just before we got started here. 30-minute science fiction and fantasy short reads. All right, so Kindle Short Reads, 30 minutes, and it goes into science fiction and fantasy. You will notice at number 1, now this is right at that edge. I say 10,000, it's at 9,000. That can, give or take just a little bit here. You'll notice it's dominated by some pre-orders. So chances are likely as soon as those are launched, right around April is what it looks like. This one being launched on February, those might end up dropping. And there might be some opportunity for you to take advantage of. You go into number 10, and it's at 33,000. We go into further down here, number 20 is at 66,000. We go further down. This right here, if you're writing any science fiction and fantasy, and you're doing short reads, this is quite an awesome opportunity. You may want to consider breaking on into it. All right, so which of those niches did you find most interesting? I want to hear from you inside the comments. And if some of that was new to you, do me a favor. I want you to put hashtag new to me. Appreciate it. And inside this next video, you're actually going to go on down there, click this next video where I talk about five of the best no competition niches. You're gonna actually want to take a look at that video. It's a little bit mind-blowing. And until later, I definitely appreciate you tuning in. See you next Saturday, folks.